All right. We are live, YouTube. Welcome to Sarlacc Digest, episode number 77.
77, what?
I know. Magic number, right?
I wasn't going to cut you off.
Well, thank you for that, by the way, for cutting me off. But it's cool.
But he did.
That's a given.
Can't be 77 episodes deep and not do it on the 77.
I hear you. We are recording May 20th, 2020, and we are still on lockdown in quarantine mode. So we're doing this podcast remote, still, keeping our distance away from everybody. So we have a special guest today, but before I introduce him, I'll introduce the crew. We're all here. We have Darth Dad 77.
Yo.
Nice. We have Joey, Bootleg Joe.
Hey, yo.
Love it.
Joey's sick. Give a disclaimer. Quick.
Yes, Joey's still sick, but hope you get better.
He's
man.
the reason we're distancing still. We were going to get together this week, but Joey over here is...
Exactly. Scott Solo is with us.
Hey, what's up, nerds?
We have Fanboy Mike for like the 4th episode in a row. I really don't know what's going on. But
In the house.
As soon as we get back in the house,
yes.
Mike's going to...
And still webcamless. Webcamless. We still have Ernie the Fallen Fett.
That's for reasons that are known. I can't.
Everybody,
Too much face technology, yeah.
Everybody wants to see you, Ernie. We really do.
Hey, guys, what's up?
All right, so very special guest. I thought Ernie was going to keep going, but yeah, no. Very special guest, Mr. Dominic Pace, who played the Gekko on The Mandalorian, is joining us today. Welcome.
Hey, thank you guys. Thanks for having me. Hello to all your listeners.
Absolutely, man. Pre-warning to our YouTube and everything. Again, technical difficulties will ensue if there's any lag or whatever like that. Again, we're doing the best we can over Skype until we can change all that. So, Dominic has offered to come on to us and talk about his experience and everything about The Mandalorian, and we're dying to know because you are a fanboy just like us, right? Like you grew up with Star Wars, of course.
Absolutely. If you YouTube Dominic Pace Entertainment Tonight, I was like a kid in the candy store. One of my first movies, it was a cheesy spinoff of Saturday Night Fever called That's the Way I Like It in 1999. It was right before the release of Episode 1, and Entertainment Tonight came in my closet, and they saw my entire geek Star Wars collection of all my vintage figures and such. Been a lifelong collector, a fan. The first playset that I had was a Cantina playset.
Yeah.
The first thing that I loved were the side characters. That when I was 5 years old, Walrus Man, Hammerhead,
Sure.
Greedo, those little under 1 minute side characters. There's just something about it in the Star Wars universe that's really special. And obviously, this was beyond words, beyond a dream come true.
Yeah, the world building of Star Wars is absolutely mind-blowing when it comes to like the average moviegoers. Like we always say here too, there's Star Wars and there's everything else, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Like these aren't movies to us. This is real. This is actually real stuff. So
Yeah.
I get you, man.
I don't even think Marvel and DC can compare when
No.
you talk about. You look at that 1985 series, with Yak Face and Monomon, Barada. I mean, I don't remember seeing a Monomon, and it's like,
Mhm.
I mean, just their backstories, everything, and Dave and John. Thankfully, they're big fans like we are. It's just absolutely amazing. I look over my shoulder every morning waiting for a phone call from Disney because this Gekko is starting to take off more and more, and I'm like, God, I hope I'm not stepping on any toes, but just the fans have been amazing.
That's
Absolutely
awesome.
amazing.
Well, let's talk on that a little bit. So you are a working actor. I mean, you've done a lot of projects. So
Correct.
how did you apply to this to The Mandalorian, or how did this come about, and how did this fall into your lap?
Sure. I'm a New Yorker, and I mean, it's not to say that if you're not from East Coast, you don't have the mentality of just being, grit and grind day in and day out. I've always taken every single job. I've had agents over the years where I'll land major guest stars on a lot of major crime dramas, NCIS or NYPD Blue, and they say, Dom, there's a certain strategy to this, just like there is in any occupation. Once you hit assistant manager, they say, okay, there's no way you're going back down to busboy.
Right,
Or you're not
right.
going down to the guy stocking in the back. It's the same thing with actors. They say, hey, you hit a guest star, you hit a recurring role on NBC Superstore, you have to stay at that level because then they start viewing you like that. Well, just like in high school, and I'm sure like a lot of fanboys themselves, I didn't care what people think.
Right.
I love the business. I love working. I love being on set. So no matter what job there is, especially leaving the restaurant, I've taken every job that has come across my way. And this was specifically a makeup test. I did have previous experience. I did prosthetics. I photo doubled Frankenstein on Van Helsing for 3 months. Jackman and a dear friend, Will Kemp. I was also with Will Smith in Bright. I was one of the orcs. And then I also was on Agents of Shield a couple of times. I played a Kree guard just a few times there as well. So in terms of prosthetics, when I went in for the makeup test, I did have previous experience, but also at the same time, just the rapport that I had with this gentleman who is a legend within Legacy Effects, one of the top prosthetic groups or companies within Hollywood, Brian Sipe. We just hit it off. And on day one, when I signed the agreement and when I went into Lucasfilm, I'm sorry, not Lucasfilm, but Manhattan Beach Studios, it was a 2 out of 3 chance with this bounty hunter that they were just going to mask me. And Brian Sipe, who actually headed up Drax for Guardians of the Galaxy, he's done a million different projects. He's absolutely amazing. Worked on Captain Marvel. He's worked with Schwarzenegger. I mean, you name it. You have to look him up. BrianSipe.com. He said, Dom, he said, you were such a nice guy. You were so humble and gracious. He said, I want to give you the most extensive prosthetics. And fingers crossed now, the next dream is hopefully we get that figure from either Black Series or Hasbro or Funko Pop. I know that Lucasfilm, people they're bumming me out because I know 15 years ago, I mean, if you were the can in the corner of a room from scene 1, from episode 1,
yes,
like you got a figure. So for me, and I'm sure all the fanboys can relate, that's, and these custom guys have been amazing. They've been, making figures of Gekko left and right.
Wow.
But I'd like to believe, the people at the higher ups, I'm not with those agencies, CAA, William Morris, Endeavor. Sure. I'm with mid-level agencies. I'm hoping that we got their ear. I know that we have their blessing for the most part. Otherwise, I know a lot of people from Disney said you would have gotten a call by now. But I think they're enjoying the whole fandom and our appreciation of side characters. And I hope, and I'm confident you'll see more of Gekko in the future.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was one of the things, like, with the popularity of the Mandalorian really taking steam after the first season and all the rumors for second season and everything. We were talking about this, like, in our little private chat in our previous podcast, was like the toy, because we're all collectors. Like, we all collect something. And it's one of those things, like, we want Grief Karga, we want Moff Gideon, we want all these Mandalorian characters, and they almost came to a complete stop, and obviously it's because of the Rise of Skywalker. They had to get that out and do that. But now I think the research, not even the research, just like I said, it hit. The Mandalorian is an absolute smash when it comes to popularity. So, I mean, I'm crossing my fingers for you and for all of us about having an action figure. That is like the fanboy dream come true, man. I'm absolutely hands down.
Yeah, a Funko Pop would be ideal.
Yeah. Chris collects the Funko Pop, so we'll have
Brian put so much work into the character. I mean, it took me 2 hours to get into makeup every day.
Okay.
I picked when I got to select my blaster, which was like every fanboy's moment. There were 2 blasters on a table on day 1. Not to mention seeing George Lucas. Yeah, I got to pick my own bounty hunter blaster. The biggest one because I said this would make the coolest for an action figure there. So Marvel Comics has a new comic book out called Bounty Hunters, and I know that Ethan Sachs and the illustrator Paolo Villanelli have taken an interest. So hopefully after issue 10, you should be hopefully seeing something. We'll see what happens. Wow. But they're talking 5 seasons. With Boba, we all know that they threw him in the Sarlacc pit.
Right.
After Return of the Jedi, they didn't realize the lore. And the one great thing has been the fan interaction. For me, to be a veteran character actor for 20 years and now receive this attention, I've been trying to do as much good as I can over the past 6 months. And
sure.
And all of our fellow fanboys, they're members of these groups, these 501st, the 501st Legion, the Mandalorian Mercs, the Rebel Legion. Yeah. So I've been really aggressive in terms of my outreach. Not even so much for the campaign of the character, but just in terms of just doing good. And it's my indirect way of saying thank you to John, Dave, and Deborah Chow each and every day for this priceless opportunity. I know that everyone would die to have, but that's how it went about. And it was 2 weeks. And again, I was in my glory. At the same time, it was just a lot of tension because when it's not about you, you don't know if the camera is going to hit you or not. And I knew that the makeup was elaborate enough to at least be established. There was one shot. I have an illustrator that's going to be released in a few weeks on my Facebook page, Lair of the Gekko on Facebook. But I wanted her to just capture one shot that I wish made the battle at Navarro to where I was kind of going head to head with Mando when he's laying on this flatbed and he's got the child and I'm going at him with my blaster. I had a military guy at my knee shooting my blasters out for me to simulate the blast.
Right.
But again, it was just a dream come true, and I'm confident there'll be more of him there.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
right.
You get me pumped up, knowing how pumped up you were about it. That's exciting. The fact that you said John and Dave a couple of seconds ago, like we joke around like, oh, John and Dave are listening, right? We do that all the time. You say it, and you've met these guys, and it's like, oh man, and George, I'm in the room with George, I'm losing my mind, man.
Yeah.
One question I wanted to ask real fast, because with the Gekko, is there a point when you come in and they start making you up, and you talk to John or Dave, and do they give you a background on the Gekko? Do you have any kind of like story behind the story, or do you build that out?
Sure. Well, the fans have been amazing. Wikipedia, I believe they've already created a planet called Sharadan, if I'm saying it correctly, or Sharadia, but to wear a mask is required. The fans have been amazing. We were given a little direction by Filoni, about 7 of us bounty hunters within the cantina, that we were doing our own specific negotiations. With the child, I thought it was brilliant that they did not want to show the second team like myself. There were about 200 people on set. They didn't want that to leak due to, a little bit of the drama from some of the fans with episode 8 and Solo and such. And I think if that got out before the show, that some of these fanboys would have been all over it and saying, oh, this is going to be a piece of garbage, et cetera, et cetera. During the battle, obviously, we were giving the situation, and obviously we wanted, what the stakes were. And I'd like to believe, when Deborah put me next to Grief, I'd like to believe that Gekko is one of the higher parts of the ranks of the guild, if he's guarding Grief Karga there. He's got his 6 there. But just in terms of the action, I've done some stunts over the years in many different shows. And it was so funny. I had this Rudy Rudiger moment with the stunt coordinator, because he had real stunt guys there, of course, but I'm what you call like sort of an action actor, to where they'll use me to take a fall or take a hit or what have you. But at the same time, there's certain things they won't allow me to do. But I went up to the stunt coordinator. He's like, look, I got this one maneuver for you. If you feel a little awkward, let me know. And it's like every fanboy was in my heart there. And I'm like, I've been waiting for this my whole life.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I got this.
You can have me jump from two stories and fall on flat dirt. And I said I'd still be right there because it's Star Wars.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh my God. Absolutely. You mentioned the child, and it's kind of interesting that you said that they kept it away from you guys for leaks and all that stuff. So when you were filming, you didn't know about it then?
Yeah, a great story behind that. It was swaddled. It was a baby that was swaddled. I mean, I didn't see any face whatsoever. Okay. I didn't think anything of it. But what I did think was, being that 9 had not come out yet, episode 9, I said, this is going to be a great backstory. What I had in my head, completely embedded, that this was baby Rey, Finn, or Poe. And that's what I thought. And I said, the way that Dave interweaves things, this is going to add to 9 and be such a great right hook. But obviously, we got even more of a surprise. I actually got a text in the middle of the night. Somebody said, hey, did you see the end of episode 1? I said, I'm not. I'm still shaking. I want to see it. I can't believe I'm, a one-of-a-kind bounty hunter in the universe. And then when I saw it, I was like, I was just so intrigued, just like the entire world.
Yeah, it was a hit. I thought, I thought it was great guts to actually do the child the way the Yoda species. I thought it was, they took a gamble. And I know, like, when Scott and Chris and we went and watched the episode 1, and that final scene came up, we were just ecstatic. Like, not mad at all. Like, this is amazing, and especially how they treated it throughout the series.
Hey, so the other kicker, guys, and I'm sure you've heard about it already now, is just, I can't say enough. We've all have dreams if we win that $100 million lottery, right? Yeah. For me, it was like always, I want to get that life-size Millennium Falcon in my backyard. I want to have a man cave in the back hub. I want to use Sunday for charity and such. Well, anyhow, this LED screen, oh my God. So my vision is perfect. And even Werner Herzog, if you go back and you watch Werner Herzog's lair, his office. Yeah. That back window is actually the LED screen. Really? But it looks exactly like you're out in the middle of the desert. But that was the moment when I went for my screen test in front of Dave and John and Deborah, the initial design of Gekko. I'm sitting there and I'm staring at it, and I swear to God, I had to keep blinking my eyes because I was 20 feet away from it. But the point I'm getting at with the lottery is I would love to get a huge 3rd, 4th bedroom to where you have that surround, maybe 10, 15 different channels, wherever it is. But it is so ridiculously crystal clear. Yeah. And there's like 2 guys, it looks like they're from 2 rows of men and women, like they're from NASA or MIT. operating the thing. But what's really cool, and I don't think they've used it to the fullest extent, is they could possibly put in they put in a ship in the middle of it. And I want to see, I would love to see, I know you can see obviously the stars,
sure,
when Mando's in his Razor Crest there, but I think they're going to take it a step further to where you can see the battle, and be able to do camera maneuvers that they never have before. I think season 2 is going to be really special in that regard. Not to mention going to other worlds now. I just can't say enough about this technology, and it's in the perfect hands with John and Dave and Deborah there now with Kenobi moving forward.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Man,
I'm just all pumped up now, just hearing about all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I took a glance at the chat real fast, and someone asked, "Did you get to interact with George Lucas?"
Okay, so I met him at a charity in 2002 as a Targeted Time for Heroes. We took a photo. When you're in the business for 20 years, the thing is that when you're at this level, they say jump, you say how high.
Sure.
It's not a meet and greet.
Sure.
I think that's the issue moving forward, because for me, another story I wanted to tell you was that I wish that guys like you, people from the Mercs, the 501st, will have these opportunities moving forward. However, the only thing is there's a code of professionalism when you're on set as an actor.
Sure, absolutely.
And that's the only thing that I'm afraid of if they go ahead and have more people, not only leaking story, but also, hey, Dave, I just want to say I'm a big fan. You have to keep in mind, it's $100 million.
Yes.
I mean, really right in front of you, $100 million budget.
I know.
So if anything, just to genuinely, and I've had these moments throughout my career with other celebrities and such, but just to genuinely just enjoy the moment of being in character inside a cantina, watching George and John talk about the detail of the Mandalorians and the history and such, which I wasn't even familiar with, to be honest, at that time. But that in and of itself, when you're at that level, there's times where they'll acknowledge you, Kathleen Kennedy, give you a little nod or kind of take a look at you and maybe interact, Dave checking out your makeup and such. But at the same time, at that level, anyone who's served in the military, I mean, it's the same way to where you can feel the level of excitement, you can feel the adrenaline.
But you're focused.
Carl and I words back and forth every now and then, but ultimately, it's all business, and that's why you're there at that level, because it's all about getting the job done, and it was a beautiful tone to the energy of the set there as well.
Oh, absolutely. So when the Sarlacc Digest is invited to like season 3 as a Mandalorian podcast Star Wars group, we'll be totally professional. I swear.
Oh yeah.
Like, we won't even. We'll geek out after. We'll
give
do.
your word. I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
That would be awesome. I know that when I saw George Lucas in person, I think I texted all my friends saying he's real. He does exist. But yeah,
it was it's an
so
amazing
real.
moment. I think you can count on one hand those who can create at that multi-million-dollar level. Spielberg and James Cameron and the creator of Harry Potter. Forgive me, I forgot. J.K. Rowling.
Yep.
Just to see him in his element, it's like Walt Disney himself. And it just chill as can be. And again, I think it was John's birthday that day. That's when they posted the first picture on Instagram inside the cantina.
Right.
So yeah, it was just really special. But the whole time, it really was this little fanboy inside me. Even though all the years of being on television and all different roles, like literally, like I can't believe I'm here.
Well, that's when like you said, your professionalism sets in, and you just contain that excitement. But when that documentary, go ahead.
Before I forget, there were just two moments I think the fans would really appreciate. What happens as an actor is sort of this Matrix experience where you start getting tunnel vision.
Yeah.
So there were two moments that I really enjoyed, and I wish I could have brought everyone inside me in terms of just to experience it, to where the universe goes away, the reality goes away.
Yeah. And
there was this really smoky sort of a window, like we were at, I didn't know at the time we were on Navarro, what planet we were on, but the cameras were at my back. And then also during the battle, there was one moment where the camera was at my back, and I had the blaster pointed at Mando, who obviously looks just so much like Boba. Sure. And Boba was like one of my favorite figures as a kid. So when I started getting that tunnel vision and you're hearing Carl's voice to me, to the right of me, I swear to God, man, I mean, it's like your hands just go numb because like you're so fired up, but also like completely an incredulous moment. Obviously Disneyland did an amazing job with those two rides. Yes. But this was just beyond because the whole world takes you over.
Absolutely, dude. I am so glad you got to experience that. Like, especially like I said, like you being a fan, you know what I mean? Like, and then trying to, just the stories of like that composing and Carl Weathers of your show. I mean, that's like surreal.
Yeah, I absolutely just lived through you right there.
Exactly. I think I did.
One more funny story with that is the fan. It was like the first day when I go into, I met the wardrobe director, and I was with 2 other bounty hunters, and we're going to get fitted. And I always think of Tom Hanks in Big because he's with John Lovitz in the cubicle. And John Lovitz, he's getting his paycheck and it's $166 and he doesn't even care.
Yeah.
So I got the 2 other bounty hunters and they're just like, another day at work. And I'm like sitting there like, oh, what the hell is going on? And then I'm freaking out, but I'm like trying to contain myself before they say, dude, you got to go, man. You got to go.
Yeah,
You're not working today. But it was so funny because both of them are just like, how long are we going to be here for this fitting? I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
I know.
I'm freaking super bounty hunter right now.
I'll play all 3 of your parts right now.
Get out. You're both fired.
Oh, my God. Did they give you the name Gekko, or was that like something that came organically?
So really awesome story. And I have some pictures on the lair of Gekko and GekkoTheBountyHunter.com, my website. Brian did a Greenpeace project 2 years prior. And basically what it was, is a funny story, is that he created a model that was similar to it had like a gecko-like shape to the and also the paint structure.
Yeah.
Where you have that little mark in the center. When I went for the screen test, the first gecko mold were these 2 bumps. So I had the screen test with Deborah and John and Dave and the team of Disney, everybody, right? And I have a hood. Gekko has a hood. So they wanted me to, just give me a few simple directions, and they wanted me to do a reveal with the hood. So I do this reveal, and Gekko at this time was the original, like, gecko kind of bump.
Mm.
So I hear, like, a snicker from, like, one of the bounty hunters, but, like, everyone else is quiet. And so, I finish out the thing. There's, like, a moisture farm behind me. It was, like, a simple little set. I go to the bounty hunter. I said, what's up? What's the matter? He said, dude, you ever watch Little Nicky? And I said, why? He said, dude, no offense. He's like, they kind of look a little like boobs. And I said, shit. I said, look, I do not. If you get to Star Wars, the last thing you want to be is like a meme, right? So I went up to Brian and Dave and John. I mean, they're all just sitting there like, "Oh, looks great," everything. That's perfect, it's perfect. And I said, "Guys," look, I'm 6'4", I'm 260 pounds. I said, "Wouldn't this look freaking awesome?" And not to make him like a Zabrak there. I said, "But wouldn't it look awesome?" I said, "If he's got like maybe some badass horns."
Right.
But Brian, he's the nicest guy on earth, and he was just kind of quiet and just kind of thinking. He didn't say a word, but thank God, come Monday, there were 4 horns instead of 4 big bumps.
Yeah.
And again, I'll show you the pictures. I mean, you can see them online. They're on a few sites and all different articles. I'm happy I'll send it to you as well. But there were 2 pictures of the model, the original model of Gekko. And that's the nickname right now. And hopefully, like I said, as the comic book comes, et cetera, and the season progress, hopefully there'll be a little more backstory and a more detailed name as we progress there.
Absolutely.
Man.
Wow.
Awesome.
Dude. Scott, anything from the chat?
Well, he went to a table again with Dave and John. And everybody said, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if he's living in my dream world?"
Yeah, it's surreal. It's surreal to us because like we cover. Yeah, awesome. We geek out in Star Wars and we cover all these things, and we talk about Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau and George. I mean, we talk like just their creations and stuff, and it's just like I said, we're living vicariously through you, so that you're doing every fanboy proud. By the way,
yeah, absolutely.
100%. Yeah. And like I said, I'm not exaggerating this. Back in the 80s and 90s, James Cameron, Michael Bay, you'll hear stories of like, I have friends. It's like we all get around, like, just around the fireside, and people tell stories of like Cameron and Bay screaming and yelling and
right.
firing somebody on set. And the one cool thing with this entire production was it was like this Mona Lisa smile. And I think you can see that demeanor at Filoni and even the Roundtable during the documentary right now, to where that's how these guys are. I mean, they are just chill and they go with the flow. And Deborah's the same way. So again, it's just an honor to be able to be at that level, but also to have that respect back at people from all different levels, first team, second team, what have you. And not to mention, the first AD and the second AD who ran such a tight ship as well. But they're just as genuine as they are on screen. And a lot of times, I hate to say it, some celebrities aren't, but John and Dave, I mean, you can't say enough about them.
So cool.
That's great to hear. That's really cool to hear. Like, we have mentioned too before, it's like I think Star Wars is in really good hands, especially with that Mandalorian team, man. And we cannot wait till season 2. I know that later on we're going to be talking about a bunch of other rumors and stuff that's going on in season 2, and we make a joke. It's like all these cameos and stuff. Like, is the Mando in it though? Like, all these other people are in it, but like, is the Mandalorian gonna make a guest appearance? But no, a lot of people have told us. You've told us like season 2. I mean, the technology's there. It's just I can't wait, and to know that it's not being pushed back. It's actually going to come out this fall. So
yeah, they finished. They wrapped on production and filming before all this drama took place.
Good.
So and now with post, I mean, they can obviously do that office
Sure.
and send the digital files back and forth to each other. So thankfully, a nice little treat there in October. But hopefully, we'll all be out of this and watching a half World Series somewhere else together with a nice beer.
Absolutely, man.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Like, we really can't wait till, like I said, we usually podcast we go to Ernie's house and we actually are together so we can read each other and be part of that. We kind of broadcast in his Star Wars room, and we really miss that. So I can't wait to, get back to normal in that aspect. So Scott, anything from chat that's for Dominic?
Our good buddy here, Gordon Skalski, he wanted to make he really wants to see a Mandalorian visual guide so he can see a badass page on the Gekko. He wants the backstory. He, just like every other Star Wars nerd,
of course.
We like to fill in those gaps of knowledge, with whatever we can.
Guys, I put out an announcement on my Facebook page about a month ago. If anybody needs, a birthday video or a hello, there's something called Cameo for, a lot of actors and celebrities where they charge. I said, I'll do it for free. I've got to be honest with you. This is the first time I'm saying this, but I haven't needed to work for the past 6 months due to the fan base. They have been buying my coins and my patches, my prints, my, a signed Beskar or prop. It's just been absolutely amazing. And I throw in just a ton of other extra stuff just to show my appreciation. Yeah. But I mean, just the fan momentum behind this is almost now kind of coming over, what I've been promoting and such. And it's just so beautiful to see. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I can't do enough for the fans because, again, being a small-time character actor for so many years and co-stars and guest stars, and now to get this attention, if I can turn it into doing something good and not only, share the celebration of Star Wars altogether, I can't tell you how much, I'm on board with that.
Awesome.
Starting June 29th, I'm a little nervous due to obviously the virus and stuff, but I wanted to go out. All the conventions are being canceled. I have been invited to Star Wars Celebration this year, but I want to do a 1-month road trip all over the country to where I'm stopping by, I want to say 15 to 17 different major cities, all throughout Vegas and Phoenix, Texas, Omaha, Iowa, Chicago, Michigan, Indiana, Tennessee, and Florida. Where I'm giving 15% of all proceeds to small business to the comic book stores.
Wow.
And then in conjunction with the 501st and Mandalorian Mercs, anytime they ask me, one of their commanding officers, if they need like a whole merchandise packet, I give it right to them because they do so much good. And again, I just can't show my appreciation enough for my little side character here. I feel like we hopefully we'll coin him the blue snaggletooth of Mandalorian here.
Very, very, very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, here's an invite. If you're coming through, going to Vegas, stop by. We'll buy you lunch.
June 29th, deal.
Okay, cool.
And we're all supposed to be at Celebration too.
Yeah.
So I mean, if this thing goes forward, we will definitely see you there.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Something special planned there. We'll be at the Mandalorian Mercs booth, and I have an LFL-approved illustration of Gekko. I will be signing just due to everyone, kind of losing their job or kind of being, on tough times right now. We're just accepting by donation only. There's no charge for selfies, or I'm going to order about 500 to 1,000 challenge coins, and whatever people can spare, we always appreciate. But other than that, just appreciate everyone's support of this side character there.
Awesome. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Star Wars is a big family. It's always been. What's the 501st? Bad guys doing good things. I love it.
Yeah.
So that carries forward, man. That is awesome. That is really cool.
Our buddy Bounty Hunter B&B is hoping we get a Gekko Black Series figure. She's got some prayer hands there.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're
John Black, and he made just one for me, and I'm paying it forward. There's an auction that will be going on in Tulsa, Oklahoma in September, and all proceeds will go towards Make-A-Wish Foundation. But that is our hope. But oh God, it's some tough competition because I know that they just had something a week ago to where it's like all the A-list stars of Star Wars as to who should get the next Black Series. So, might be competitive, but hey, you never know. We might be that diamond in the rough there.
Come on.
Hey, I'll buy it.
We'll have to.
I'm in.
Yeah, we'll keep petitioning for it, man. That's
F100.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Cool.
So if the figure is announced, if you get your figure and you know it's coming, what's the first thing you're gonna do? What's your reaction gonna be?
There can't be a bar big enough to buy all the shots for all the Star Wars fans.
There we are.
I said this in a few interviews, but the reason I got into this business was because of Lucas, Spielberg, Richard Donner, Robert Zemeckis. It was for that escapism that we enjoyed as children from Generation X and Y. It was all about the adventure. I think it's great that everyone's got their own causes right now in terms of things that kind of lean towards politics. But for me, it was always about just entertaining you and having a place for people to escape and to just leave the regular world, no matter what side of the coin of anything that you believe in, you're on. So for me, what represents that, and this may sound a little odd, I hold it up there with an Academy Award because basically it is the essential epitome of making it as an actor in a certain way. And for me, it was always about that excitement and escapism of the sci-fi world, as opposed to a lot of the crime dramas, which I tend to do there.
Yep, 100%.
That's
the magic of Star Wars. That's why it, like you
awesome.
mentioned at the very beginning about that world building experience, and it's just captivating. And it's the only escape. That's why we do this podcast. That's why we live this stuff. And I do want to thank you for coming on. I know that you've given us your time, and I think. Before I let you go, we did have a question from Rich on the RLU. He wants to know not if, but what did you steal from the set that you kept?
Okay. So God, I swear to God, I had that tracking fob in my hand, and I'm like, if I never work again, it might be worth it. But oh my God, the great thing is all these 3D print guys and prop replica people, if you see behind me, they've been absolutely amazing. I'm actually going to be touring with my forearm gauntlet where I'll have replicas of that as well. It's a really thick. The one cool thing about Gekko is he's got a really thick gauntlet, which does, I think, some very, very special things.
Nice.
I've had a Shawshank Redemption sort of experience with this. So basically, when the Battle of Navarro occurred, there was a lot of rolling around and getting down on one knee to shoot and getting up and everything else. So there was black dirt, and each day the black dirt would seep into my boot. So even in the wardrobe room, we had somebody watching, making sure that you weren't taking your robe.
Sure.
So every day I would take a little bit of black dirt and put it in my pocket. There was a gentleman in Indiana, and he was just a diehard comic book fan, one of the fanboys, and I ended up giving him a little bit of the black dirt, but that's all.
Amazing.
In a perfect world, I tell you, just like every fanboy, I'm holding on to my real blaster, and I'm like, please let me steal it. Please let me steal it.
Amazing.
So unfortunately, it's just at this level, you just can't. But,
But honestly, that is like so cool. Black dirt. We would
That's
die
fantastic.
over that. It would be like, oh my God. And put it. I mean, we'd probably put it as like the prized possession, to come from the set,
Yeah.
One T-shirt, I had a mashup of the Lion King and Star Wars, where Darth Vader's holding Luke up over the mountain, kind of like
Simba.
And I had it on a few days, so I still have that, as a piece, but it wasn't seen, on screen there.
That's awesome.
Too fun.
Anybody else have anything last shots before we let Dominic go and enjoy the rest of his evening?
I don't. I'm just.
Thank you, because that was a fantastic half hour right there. So thank you much.
I could sit there and listen to stories all day.
Absolutely.
Wait, that was a half hour? That felt like about 5 minutes.
Okay, just the shout out. It'll be at Gekko. GekkoTheBountyHunter.com will be all the list of all the tour dates and the specific comic book stores I'll be appearing in during July, June 29th, all the way to July 27th, out to Chattanooga, Tennessee. As of right now, perhaps an extra date down in Tampa. But just going to be a fun bounty hunter road trip there, and supporting small business and hopefully getting the country back on track.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're doing the work, man, and keep it up.
Yeah. We
can't wait to see what the followings or the adventures of the Gekko is going to be doing, especially that comic book form. Now it's always going to be you. You are it. That's what not baffles me, but like entertains me the most is like, you are the guy. You know what I mean? You are cemented in Star Wars history for eternity. That's it.
Yeah.
You're done. You made it. You can retire now.
Travel was always special, and also meeting Star Wars fans. So if I can be one of those Peter Mayhews or Jeremy Bullocks on a lower level, terms of just all the celebrations all over the world,
Yeah.
sign me up. I'll be happy to do that well into my 80s there.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Right on.
Awesome.
Love
Awesome. Again, Dominic, thank you for your time, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will make sure that I have all the descriptions that you for your causes and your tour and your websites and the description so everybody can go visit and support. So good luck to you, and may the force be with you, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody be safe. We'll talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
Dominic.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Take
you.
care.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, well, that was the show, guys. I
Just
can't.
wow.
Was that cool or what?
Yeah, there's
That
no
was
nerd
awesome.
talk that we can pull off right now to be anything better than we just had. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in the garage. and hang out.
Wow. I just like I said, I can listen to stories on set all day long, and to
Dude,
know
Man, theory craft. He theory crafted the child when he saw it.
Yeah.
Thinking it was Baby Ray or Baby Finn or.
Yeah.
Come on, man. They're it's awesome.
He's one of us.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. He is absolutely one of us.
And interesting
that's
enough
fantastic.
to know that they were actually nervous to have that leak out as the child, right? Like the Yoda species, and to no, but I think hopefully they feel vindicated about everybody's reaction and the world grasp on the child, right? And how it's a household name now. I mean, you got everybody, not even Star Wars fans, that everybody's buying this thing. It's like it's one thing that they hit a home run with, and I think it's how they dealt with it. They didn't make it cheesy. They didn't make it, kind of like over the top. It's very subtle and a big part of the whole thing. So that was cool.
Hey, this is the last mention that Rich gets. But Rich, if you're listening, and I know you are, you did hear the man say DC and Marvel can't even compare to a Go. Right?
I heard it.
All I thought was, make sure to remember that. I just put a note down. And
of course you did.
Yeah, I did. And there it was. So that's the last time he gets a nod on here. But wow, dude, that was so much. I'm gonna we should just theory crab Gekko and where he's gonna be, and if he was in episode 9 now, just for the rest of the show, and just figure that out.
Yeah, why not?
Our chat is blowing up. So many people were happy with that interview.
Cool.
It's fantastic.
Phenomenal. And,
It was great.
There's a couple really awesome things in there, but that was
the guy gets it. Like he said, with he was with the other 2 actors and stuff, and they were just kind of like, just another day at work, and he's like, "You kidding me? Are you kidding me? I get to do this."
That story about the baby in the swaddled, is that the first time you guys have heard that?
Yeah.
I figured they had the baby there in some kind of puppet form.
It sounds to me like it sounds to me like they hid it from only the people who are allowed in within the same scene. You know what I mean? Like they really just hid that that reveal, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe first crew or whatever how he said it, right? That first crew with Carl Weathers and those folks. Maybe they were the ones that knew, because I lost his name, the client. He Werner Herzog. Werner Herzog.
Yeah.
Got it. He told them, make sure to do this live and don't be wusses about it, right?
Make
Don't
it
be
a puppet.
cowards.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So they saw it. But that's wild. That was the first time I've heard that. That was neat.
Yeah.
Hey, was I hearing things, or did he say that they're planning for 5 seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped that.
He said
I
that.
was like, oh.
He said they're planning for 5 seasons, and I went,
Yeah, I
And
believe
deep down-
Planning or greenlit?
Go ahead,
So
Ernie.
What
Sorry.
we need to do now is go ahead and post that everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Confirmed. Gekko said it. What was that, Ernie?
I know, but was that greenlit or was he?
Oh, I don't-
Was
I-
that just?
No, we don't know.
Ernie, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Planning
he's-
is planning, right?
Yeah,
I'm
he
planning
said
to go to
5
Rome
seasons. He said 5 seasons. I'm like, wait, that's it?
Yeah.
I know, right?
I'll take 10. I mean,
5
hell,
seasons, it was
NCIS
like
is in
50
season
some odd.
20.
How many episodes
Well-
was it? 10? 50 episodes? Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
25,
Easy, right?
25 to 50 hours, somewhere in there, right?
Well, speaking of which, I mean, they've got so many that they've got on the plate now. I mean, with that having 5 seasons, I mean, they got to move forward with the rest that we're talking about. I mean, that's a good segue to talk about what we got going on.
Well, sure. They probably have on paper story for 5 seasons, and then they film it, and they see where the popularity is at and what they could continue, because I don't have any doubt that the Mandalorian, is going to be a big thing in our world. Even if like 5, 6, 7, whatever seasons. But do you guys think though it's going to be the child and the Mando and all? Just hypothetically, all 5 seasons of the child and the Mando?
No.
I don't think that maybe not at the beginning they tried to do that, but maybe with the popularity, go for a little while to ride out the child's popularity.
Yeah,
I agree with that. And plus, I mean, the child is essentially a foundling now, so
But why couldn't it be? Why couldn't you have the child? Yeah, why couldn't you have the child and the Mandalorian just go on through all of the seasons and there just be different parts that are.
Because for 5 seasons of going on a chase of trying to catch him is a little bit
I don't think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. With running and hiding and all that stuff. But I think there'd be more to it because he's got his seal and it's the the Pact of Two and it's the Mudhorn and they both defeated the Mudhorn together. I think they're going to be kindred spirits moving forward. And again, I'm envisioning the tearjerker season finale. I don't know, fast forward, whatever, is them separating. Him going off to Jedi training or to Yoda's species, like that Yoda, whatever, and the Mando going off in his separate ways. Like they both walk off into the sunset. That's what I envision. Now, the journey is where I kind of agree with everybody else. I'm like, it can't be 5 seasons of just running and hiding. It has to really kind of, encompass a lot of things and eventually be out in the open and do whatever. They can't team up. They can't be Starsky and Hutch. I know that, but
Otherwise, it turns in. It gets repetitive and goes over and over.
Yeah.
We don't want to turn into a Lord of the Rings meme where it's like, okay, then they walked, then they walked,
and then tripped, and then
yeah, we just can't do that.
I can see them doing side stories about certain characters, maybe that are going to play an important key into it, and so they might veer off and tell 2 or 3 eps of a story arc of this one person, bring it, having it full circle and meeting them, what I mean, to break up the
Like I didn't watch a lot of westerns, right? Obviously, you have a hero and a sidekick usually, right? Like Lone Ranger Tonto would be like the most western I would watch. Did they have that, or they were lone gunmen, really, right?
Yeah.
Would they just get together with people for like a season or 2, and then like kind of move to another partner and things like that, maybe, So all of a sudden it's the child now. All of a sudden we fall in love with somebody else, a new character, and like, okay, well now Mando and Gekko are partnered up for a season.
Yeah.
And you just somebody new each time.
Yeah.
And that way nothing ever gets dull.
Right. Exactly. Like I said, for him to even mention 5 seasons, they have that on paper. They have that on story. They got like we have enough to fill, like you said, 50 episodes or whatever, which absolutely excites me. Like,
yeah.
And then whatever spin-offs that they can do off that,
For sure.
Oh my God.
Man, that was a lot of fun. That was great.
It was. I just, like I said, it goes hand in hand with the Disney Gallery. What they released last week was the cast. They talked to Carl Weathers. They talked to Pedro Pascal. They talked to, all the major cast members and everything. I thought it was very perfect for have him on to get his side and his experience on the show too. So with that, again, this is why I love like behind the scenes stuff, because you don't really get like the story meat, but you get that experience. And like Chris was saying, like we get living vicariously through these kind of encounters too. So
yeah.
Absolutely awesome.
I kind of wanted him to explain the piece a little bit more in the background. Like, he had that whole plaque of stuff, and he had like specifics on there, like a picture and some other things. I wish
see, Mike, when he's here, you can ask him questions.
I know, but it was, I was too starstruck at the moment to even ask anything.
I just got a friend request from Dominic Pace on Facebook.
Oh, right.
Hey.
We're besties.
All right. Stop bragging. Let's move on.
We're besties now.
Look who's sour.
I'm going to make him a close friend.
But
family.
I'm going to unfriend him real quick, and then I'm going to have him friend me.
I was very, very serious about the Sarlacc Digest being in one of the seasons of Mandalorian as like the Star Wars broadcasters, and we can all be in makeup and aliens, and we're like broadcasting the HoloNet news or something. That would be awesome.
Oh God!
As a cameo.
He just posted a photo of his studio as he's talking to us. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was just gonna send you a screenshot in the chat. So anyway, let's get back to the show. We're killing.
Yeah. Well, we're in this mode of Mandalorian, okay? When we get into our news section, like, I'm going through our last 2 weeks of absolute news. Like the biggest news that we left off was Taika Waititi's new film, and we know nothing about, but he's pegged to do that thing. Now, nothing as far as like news and official stuff. We got rumors over rumors again with season 2. I know it's been wrapped and everything, but I at one point I made a joke and saying, yeah, look, is everybody in it but the Mandalorian, for God's sake? But if you really look at season 1 and look at all the cameos in that one too, like Bill Barr, you know, like look at all the people who are in there. If you gave us a list of all the people, you would think, holy crap. But they had real small roles here and there.
Right.
The one thing I do want,
just like he did it Western, right? One character in episode.
Yeah.
It didn't really have to be an arc. It was just their journey was the arc, not
exactly
everybody else.
Exactly, 100%. But the one thing, and again, we'll take this as a grain of salt and rumor, but you know, it's coming from, I think, legit reasons and legit places. Where let's talk about the Boba Fett thing, right? First we heard Boba Fett, Tamara Morrison's going to play it. Right, like you know, a rumor or him, a Rex, he's just in it. He's just in it.
Everybody said Tamara Morrison's Boba Fett.
Right.
I took it as Tamara Morrison was in the Mandalorian.
Exactly. Because it doesn't necessarily have to be Boba Fett. It could be Rex. It could, you know, whatever. Now let's get into this latest one. Please help me with the actor's name.
Timothy Olyphant.
Thank you. Yep. I'm glad you said it, not me. He played in Santa Clarita's Diet. Hilarious guy. He's a great actor. Now, the supposed rumor is that he's playing a character in Boba Fett's armor. Now, the actual Boba Fett's armor. Okay. Now, Chris, you read the Aftermath series. I mean, doesn't this kind of like relate to the prelude, one of those interludes that the guy that was the sheriff of Tatooine?
And that's been kind of the talk around the interwebs and Reddits and everything else is, you know, a lot of Cobb Vanth talk, right? From Vanth from Further Wraith. Get it? Office.
Okay. Yes. Office. Yes.
Let it done. That's the word around the campfire is could be Cobb Vanth, but nobody knows, right? Everybody's like, oh, he's in here, and one thing is like he's in the armor. Okay, cool. Well, what's that make Morrison, right? Does that mean he's Rex, or does that mean he's Boba out of the armor? Ticked off that Cobb has it, or does it mean that it's Jodo cast or something like that? It could be all sorts of things. I think doing Cobb Vanth is cool to use canon type stuff, right? Correct. But bringing Jodo cast in as an imposter later is way cooler for me.
That's what it is.
Old EU guy, that's way cooler.
I agree. I agree with you there, but they've had a specific lack of any kind of cohesion with the new canon. And some of those interludes, I mean, some of those interludes, they were cool, but they didn't affect the overall story as to what we've seen yet. So this would be a perfect opportunity to do that. Although I would personally love more Jodo cast than Cobb Vanth.
Yeah. Does the timing match up with Cobb Vanth?
Yes.
Yeah, it could all. This whole thing could match up that way. I'm still not leaving the Cad Bane theory. I think Cad Bane's in this next season. You just don't know it yet.
That would be the surprise. That would be like, like I said, that might be
Michael Biehn.
Yeah.
Could be.
Well, just like
the only confirmed casting, right?
Right, exactly. But yeah, I'm totally buying in there's going to be a fake Boba Fett and then the real Boba Fett. And I don't think Boba Fett is running around with the same armor for so many years every single day. I think it's going to be, like I said,
If what happens, what I would like to happen, if we're bringing Boba Fett into it, we know he's not a Mandalorian regardless of what Jango was. Right? Because he's a clone. He
Correct.
Wasn't Mandalorian.
Absolutely.
With the change in the rules since the Purge and the Empire and everything else, it's obviously gone from what we've seen in Clone Wars and Rebels to where they're not warriors at that point. You know, some warrior. You know what I mean? It's a peaceful planet and all this stuff. Well, they don't have the ancient warrior mentality. But now they've changed the rules. They've got the mask on, everything. And they take on foundlings. This is where I could see Boba Fett becoming a Mandalorian in spirit. So if we're doing this, if this is Boba Fett's in this, that's what I want. Because then you can say he is a Mandalorian bounty hunter.
So you
not
want
just
that.
a guy with a suit. He can be a Mandalorian.
I kind of want him just to be like just terrible villain, like just disintegrating shit stuff.
They won't
I
do
do.
That. They won't do that. They built him up as an anti-hero throughout the years, whether it be in canon or in EU. Remember, I talked about this with in the chat the other day with Tommy, mentioning a thing about, was it Tales of the Bounty Hunters or Tales from Jabba's Palace? One of the two. when Leia got captured.
Right.
You know, and then Jabba gives Leia to Boba at night, locks her in his room and says, you know, she's yours.
Yeah.
She says, don't touch me. He's like, oh, sex before marriage is immoral.
Yeah.
You know, that's the kind of character they built Boba kind of to be. And even in the Clone Wars, Boba's not a heartless, bloody killer.
Well, you still have a code. I just didn't want to relate to him as I don't know. Everybody has their vision, right? Everybody has their kind of like preconceived notions of what certain characters are. And I would just love.
Well, I had mine.
You do.
George kind of changed it because George changed it with Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars. So I have to go with what George did.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So and he made him more of an anti-hero and made him relatable.
Yeah.
As a kid, and we see him in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Fighting not to kill the other kids. Right.
Yeah.
Not kill. Just wants to kill Mace.
Right. He's got his hellbent revenge on Mace and stuff. I just would like a notion of him in the shadows, that he's the ultimate. Like, I think I mentioned this in chat. Like, it would be cool to have Boba Fett as the ultimate villain in this whole Mandalorian series, and maybe, like I said, we get just say for example, that's him. It's walking up to the body, and I think it's episode 5 in the Mandalorian with the spurs, and then this season maybe we get, like I said, like Cod Vanth, and we get like fake Boba and then real Boba. You know what I mean? Like, we get this interaction, but maybe something leading up to this huge altercation. That, like what Mike was saying, maybe we do have some episodes that's going in the past that will maybe discover Boba's backstory a little bit more fleshed out, but it's eventually those two are going to come to a head. Again, all up in the air, all theory crafting, all cool stuff, you know.
Yeah, are we thinking that he's going to run into Ahsoka in one episode and then Fett in another, and then all these other cameos? Or are these going to be like tied in, like somehow, some way? Ahsoka, and I would think Ahsoka and Rex are going to be together at this point. I would hope, right? Or they weren't. They weren't in Rebels either. So I don't know, man. Do you think they're all going to be mixed up or just separate stories? And we're going to have to accept in 10 episodes, all of a sudden he meets Ahsoka Tano.
I would like some cohesion in that. You know, I would like some similarities, not just like kind of like a one-off, like in and out, like, you know, high and by kind of stuff. I think I'm kind of to the point where I liked the first season so much because it was familiar but different. You start bringing all these people in it made, we've talked about this several times. Scott talks about, we've talked about this, where it makes the universe so small. The galaxy is small. It does.
Yeah.
It does.
I get it if you're on Tatooine.
It's not just that. You're taking a lot of the thunder, the lightning away from the Mandalorian.
If you do,
so he kind of becomes the side plot, and everyone. Now it's like everyone's expecting, okay, who's coming on next?
Yeah, guest of the week.
Yeah. Because now what? Danny Trejo was another one, latest too.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is I hope they don't overdo it. You know, it's not confirmed. We're sitting here getting worried about it. It's not confirmed. But as far as we know, really, when they had Ahsoka, when she was if she was cast, right? They talk about Tamora Morrison. Maybe it's not even about Ahsoka. Maybe they were shooting a promo for the Ahsoka spinoff of their one. We take a lot of stuff and run with it. I hope it's all true. I think it's all true. But I mean, they've got to be. You know what? Screw it. I trust those guys.
I do too.
If Filoni says it's okay, and how many cameos did he cram into Rebels?
Oh yeah.
And he pulled it off.
Well, go back to season 1 of the Mando. Look how many cameos that were in there. I mean, you know.
And they pulled it off. I guess I won't be too mad, but to Joey's point, I don't want a Mando and friends.
You're right.
Yeah.
There is
cameos of small characters. I can understand that, but like we're talking about Ahsoka Tano, like that's a main character that you wouldn't want to have to bring in to overshadow that. I think that would deserve its own specific spot, but not necessarily. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So Ahsoka and Fett are going to take up a lot of attention.
Right.
That's why I want Fett in the shadows. That's why I wanted him like the antagonist, like you have Moff Gideon, which obviously we're going to get a lot more of, and I hope that is not just like a one-off either. I hope that really carries forward, and you know, like I said, there's like the simple story to me is Moff Gideon hired Boba Fett because he's the most feared bounty hunter and to go after the child and all that stuff.
And you want Boba Fett to do what Jango Fett did, and that is outsource, hire somebody else to go and do.
Yeah. So we'll get some Zam Wessel references, and then maybe that's who Rosario Dawson's playing. Who knows? But
so Nick von Frankenstein.
Yes.
He's wanting to know, is Bane being dead canon? And like I told him in the chat, I don't think so because we didn't see it in a fully fleshed out episode.
Well,
So-
Bane's been dead for a while. You talking about Cad Bane or Darth
Cad
Bane?
Bane.
Cad Bane. Sorry, I don't know why. I thought it was a random you question.
Yeah,
no,
Cad
no,
Bane.
no.
No, that shootout was non-canon.
Correct.
Right, exactly. And then that's what I told him as well. And then let me see,
You're
Timothy
right.
Olyphant. Yeah, why? Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Timothy Olyphant's. Okay, Lucky wants Timothy Olyphant to walk up and just kind of pick up Boba's armor off the ground, like Dennis Quaid picked up shells in Enemy Mine at the end of that.
Yeah.
But Lucky also said he would love to see Hondo.
Yeah.
Me too.
So,
Hondo.
yeah.
See, within these, if there's 5 seasons, if we don't see Hondo, I'll be upset.
Oh yeah.
Because he makes the most sense of everything, being that they use him at the Disney parks, right?
Right.
That he's got, he's in all the animation already. He's in both. Well, he wasn't in Resistance, right?
No.
But he's around during that time
Yes.
because he's in the books and Black Spire.
Blackspire.
Okay.
Yeah.
All this, he makes too much sense. It blows
Yeah.
my mind.
Well, that's what Ernie can speak on this more. If they bring in Hondo, and that can tie into, like I said, changing the parks. Like there's the rumors of changing Galaxy's Edge a little bit, or adding the Mandalorian into it, incorporating more of the Mandalorian, the set and the design and the characters. Hondo's already there, and that tie-in could be amazing.
They said that they've already had planned on that, of changing the Falcon ride.
Yes.
As far as it was going to be different scenarios, different scenes, depending on the story, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
And if Hondo is your staple, then yeah, we should definitely have him. Like Chris has always said, if he doesn't pop up, how is that not possible?
Yeah.
Like he's just that side character that connects so much together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's met all of our heroes right through the years.
He's a Filoni
Correct.
creation too. So there you go.
And then again, why, like just that? How is he at Black Spire Outpost? And so much story is evolved around him through Black Spire Outpost. Like everybody knows of his smuggling business, and he's like kind of like a center there. I mean, he was always supposed to be one of the walking characters that was, this whole talks of droids and characters walking around. He was supposed to be walking around.
Yeah.
He's got such a distinctive voice. I wonder if that's why they've put it off so long, is because of that voice. You hear that voice everywhere through the park. And if you see some guy walking around, the voice isn't at least close, it's going to be odd. I wonder if that's maybe they're looking for the right person.
Well, it would be tough. It's
Dude, go to your local liquor store, dude. You'll hear his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Hondo.
But they got to spread it out too. Like
it would be an easy adjustment. All they'd have to do to make it work too is go to Black Spire one time next season, or the season, whatever season they bring Hondo in, just go to Black Spire once. And that's another thing.
I feel it's coming.
That opportunity, they have to do that, right? Ernie?
Yes.
It should have happened in 9, been mentioned in 9. That would have been great.
Yeah.
But right now, this is actually the perfect one. He's jumping around planet to planet doing things.
Yeah.
This
Absolutely.
is the opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're off running and hiding. How could you not go hide at Black Spire?
Right.
Yeah.
And
nobody knows about it except everybody. So it's the place to go.
And they did mention both Black Spire and Doc Ondar in Solo, so it has been established in a film. So, it's let's see it in this show.
Yes.
That's F1. That's where they're going. That's where he's chasing the child down to Black Spire.
Like
I hope something's going.
Like Chris was, like you said, with all the books and comics, how they were tying in Black Spire on almost every single level that they could. To bring it into live action just makes perfect sense, since now we've all been there, and now that it's closed, and hopefully it's like everybody's yearning to get back so much. It's like a perfect marketing opportunity to really shove it in our face.
They saturated it in like I don't want to call it the secondary market, right?
Well, it is.
Like it wasn't film. They used it in books and comics and did it so much. And yet all of a sudden when it's time where you have one that fits, it's not already there.
I know, right?
The best thing right now
is big 6-month build up for and then just kill it.
Yeah.
Dude, the best thing right now that could actually happen going on right now is the situation that we are in the world is to go, like, once they get an okay that we're slowly opening and we've only heard of the parks opening here and there, imagine them going to film some scenes there. Like what we're a part of would just put it over the top.
Yeah, because we could stand there and be like, this, this. Oh man, it's the little things in like Star Wars life that gets us, right? Just like the black sand, it's that thing.
Right.
This is the pillar right here. Pedro Pascal sat here. You know what I mean? And that would be like the photo op of the park. You know?
Exactly. And it's not like it couldn't happen.
No, it absolutely could happen. Yeah.
Or did Pedro sit there? Because I got to tell you, after that last round table and seeing all the actors, that
3 people played him.
Yeah, and it looks as though he did mostly just voiceover work in the one scene with the helmet off.
Yeah. 2
I was
stuntmen,
so kind of bummed out.
2 stuntmen. One was for gun work. One was for like the martial arts stuff. And then I'm sure they use him for walking in and walking out.
He did all this walking and talking scenes, but if he had to pull out a gun and do something cool, that kind of bugs, didn't it?
It's
like, cool. Did I not play enough as a kid with guns that I don't know how to pretend to shoot?
I thought the same thing as Scott. I'm like, whoa. Then why do we need the actor?
and my level of appreciation for Cara Dune and her, the actor, just skyrocketed.
Her abilities,
her.
Well, and even like Filoni just changed my whole world when he talked about George the other episode.
Oh my God!
Right?
For that 10-minute, like, it just in a trance.
I got chills right now just thinking him say George.
I know.
Yeah. He's on a first name basis with those dudes.
Yeah.
When
that was Dominic, he was blowing my mind saying that, right?
Yeah. When he first said
it. When Dave's talking about George, it's like his dad, right? Or his older brother.
Yeah. He said Dave and John, and we're just like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
We're like Favreau and Filoni. He's like Dave and John.
Dave, John, yeah.
I mean, Dave talking about George, how he talks about him, right?
Yes.
It's like,
yes.
Dude, it's like his dad, his mentor. He like, he seems like family. It's wild.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And then,
that's what I love so much is, he's continuing his dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. He seems like Junior. Really.
Exactly. Oh, I mean, to the T.
Mm-hmm.
That round table, these scenes are exactly what we wanted. We'd speculated on this before as far as, are they going to show us this or that? But even like Dominic was saying with the screen, that screen is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a whole new way to shoot stuff and what's coming.
Yeah.
And then, that round table of him just talking about it, and you sit there, and not only that, but the respect that the other directors give Filoni of just, they're enthralled by what he's saying.
Yes.
And just listening to his story.
Yeah.
I mean, if Kennedy were to step out, I want Favreau and Filoni to take over.
Well,
like, that would be fine.
They definitely carry the vision. They definitely get it. They get it. You know what I mean? When they theory craft like we theory craft. And I'm not trying to...
Yeah.
Well, I am putting us on the same level because Dave Filoni is a fan, and he knows, just like Gina said about... I said Gina. Just like,
you're on a first name basis.
Yeah, she said, like, this shoulder pad, Dave Filoni could tell you everything about this shoulder pad. And so that's what we do. You know what I mean? We do that.
Mm-hmm.
We do exactly that.
Pauldron. Come on.
Pauldron. Okay.
Come on.
All right, Pauldron. I'm out.
Yeah, to hear all their stories as actors and everything that was so cool.
I dig it, man. I really do. I like to I look forward to. I know I don't watch it the minute it comes out with these gallery things because I know it's there, like I would do with a episode or a live action whatever. But I just knowing it's there, and can't wait for the next one. Like maybe it's maybe special effects next. When
I've honestly watched it right before bed. Like laying in bed watching it, like to go to sleep with that good breakdown feeling.
Yeah.
Like, man, I needed that. Like, it's kind of a de-stress just to hear them talk. And then the things that they're pointing out and what they've done is just, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. Filoni could put me to sleep talking about George anytime. I would just go to bed happy. And then when Tom talked about here, I'm going to listen to this all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was the coolest thing. This dude was so pumped to be in there. I can't imagine what it's like to be an actor. And I had this discussion with Luke today. We were watching House, right? And old reruns, obviously.
Sure.
But
H&I.
We're watching it, and I'm getting all choked up watching one of the scenes, right? And I'm like, dude, this is an art. I said, you don't realize that the lighting, the people, the writers in the story, the actors to make me believe this. I said, we take it for granted that we look at this stuff and enjoy it and love it, but it is a art form to the fullest to make me believe. I can't stand right now and start crying and make you think I feel something that I don't.
Sure.
Right? I can't. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. To see the back. That is the coolest part about the behind the scenes right now.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to appreciate more of the that art part. The art part.
Yeah. No, yeah, it is, man. Like you take a step back and you kind of like try to put yourself in their shoes, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't sell it, you know.
Right.
I love it. I love all of it.
How about when they were supposed to kill off Apollo Creed?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen. And it's like, he is so, just how he's talking is how I would act around him too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. Like, you want to cover this face?
Oh,
yeah, no, you're right.
yeah.
You don't.
And you're not going to kill me. He's all, I was going to tell him, but I knew I was going to get killed off.
Right.
Right. It's like, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. So it's such a great episode and something to get into and watch.
Yeah.
And if you haven't watched it yet because you were thinking that, as far as I don't want to see behind the scenes, yes, I know that seeing the other characters as far as what they're doing in the Mando getup, that does take away a little bit. But still, those people are still living the dream, just as Dominic came in and said you could see it in their face when they were talking about it. Like, even though we don't know, they're like, I am the Mando. Yeah. Like, that's, oh man, that's awesome.
He did change that part for me too. That last episode in this talk makes you realize that, these guys love it too. Yeah. And as long as they love it and they have the same passion, I'm okay seeing what they're doing with it. Because I would want to show it too if I was back there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we've kind of talked about this too because of the quarantine thing, to how all the actors have been pretty much a dead stop and the conventions have been dead stop too. So, he's Dominic. He's trying to find different ways around that and try to get the Gekko out in front of people that want to see him and stuff. And I think that was cool too. Because again, you just, like I said, if you're not changing with the times, then you're probably dying.
Well, he's absolutely right, though. How many people do love Star Wars for the fact of a background character, and that's who they base off? Not only that, look at us.
God, yeah.
Look at us in Sidebot 2. We're all trying to create our own story of our own character.
What do you mean trying?
To walk around. Right. Well, Scott, we're not on the Scott's level yet, but that's what I'm saying is it doesn't matter who you play, just like him. That was such a great interview and having him on because, like Chris said, we are just living through him, because that would be us taking the stand, creating this whole backstory on. Yeah. Oh, you were just scanned by in the episode, Ernie. I know, but do you know where I'm from?
Yeah. well, look at how he theory crafted, and we would do the same thing, right? He said because he was next to Grief Karga.
Yes.
That he had some more importance than all the other bounty hunters. And that's exactly what we would say, being he must be number 2. Or
well, we assume that. I've said that not to you. I don't think I might have said it in the house. The guy must be pretty big because he's right there in the scene.
You're right.
He's right next to.
He said 6'2". 6'2" or 6'5".
6'4". 6. I think it was 6'4".
Well, I didn't mean size-wise.
Yeah, you meant big, like
right.
importance
in the guild.
Yeah.
I mean, big and important.
And like you said, even though his scene was cut of him shooting away at the Mando, in our head that's canon now.
Yeah, oh yeah. He sent me a bunch of pictures in one of those.
That changed his whole world so much too. That one extra move, huh?
Yeah. He sent me some pictures, and I will post them of him firing at the Mando. So, like cut scene, maybe.
Nice.
So.
Oh, sweet.
Awesome.
Yeah. Some exclusives.
Yes, we'll definitely post them on the Facebook and IG and all that stuff. But
nice.
Woo! What a ride, man! What a ride. Maybe we could segue into our newest addition to what we've done, our Facebook group, our chat, our Sarlacc Central.
Heck yeah.
If you're listening and are not a part of that group, please join. It's on Facebook. What is it?
Sarlacc Digest Central, your home for Star Wars news and line talk.
There you go. And that's where we continue pretty much our daily dose of Star Wars.
Never mind.
AR 2 C's.
We created that group, a week ago now? Mm-hmm. Maybe not even a week ago. And within 24 hours, we had almost 200 members.
Amazing,
and
right?
It's been going strong since. So.
Yeah, a bunch of nerds in there talking and staying positive. That's what I needed.
Exactly. That's like something we created our forum of what we like to surround our people with, and the people that we line talk with in the movie theater experience, or just friends of the show and all that stuff. Is like there's the negativity, we can constructively debate it. Anything negative or maybe something you didn't like about Star Wars, we're not there to bash or whatever, all that stuff. So it's a good area. It's a good space that we've created for that purpose. You go in there, talk about your favorite scenes, favorite duels, favorite characters, and just have fun with it, I do want to mention real fast that
we still get sassy sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's just given,
sassy.
Remember what I said.
That's you, Chris.
If any of you ever call me sassy, I'm coming out of quarantine.
I call you sassy all the time.
Coming out.
Remember what I said.
Your house is allergic to your cats, but
every Star Wars fan thinks they're right. Okay, so so it could be a powder keg sometimes, but it's still friendly.
It's amazing to me how much positivity is in there and how positive and upbeat it's been kept. Yeah. And everybody's been very respectful. And you can tell that there's some disagreements every now and then, especially with Nick. But
yep.
But overall, it's
Nick,
been really.
I need you to watch or listen to episode 4.
Yeah, Nick.
Oh, he's already called you out. In the chat, so.
Yeah,
Nick actually says in our chat that we are his Dave Filoni.
Except
nice. even if Chris is wrong about Luke.
Oh
boy.
How is Chris wrong about Luke?
Holy crap! He actually, before it even aired, he said on here that Chris keeps reminding me to listen to Hot Topic episode 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
He needs to.
My most favorite episode.
Yeah, Gurney's favorite. That Ernie has it on repeat, I think.
Yeah. Like I said, when I go to bed, I need something to listen to.
Right. I have some episodes.
Well, it gives you some inside information. It makes you think about like how Luke and how he, what he did in the sequel trilogy. It kind of makes sense. It kind of fits a character that I had a discussion with somebody in my gamer group too. We're talking about Luke, and I told him, I said, out of the sequel trilogy, I like the way Luke went, and I like the arc, and I like the torturous nature that Luke had in him. Yes, I like Luke in the EU, and I also mentioned this to Chris. I'm like, something? Think about Luke in the EU. Think about Luke in the Bane trilogy, or the Thrawn trilogy, right? He went through some messed up things, man. Like, he wasn't the almighty, powerful, save everybody person. He had some inner demons that he was like, he almost was fully engulfed in the dark side for a second there, and he almost went nuts.
Yeah, Dark Empire. He did go to the dark side.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you really think about where his legacy went in the sequel trilogy, maybe it didn't go beat by beat, but there was some, like I said, some inner conflict there that Luke had. Luke is not the golden boy, which everybody that was prompted up. He even said it in The Last Jedi, for God's sake. You know what I mean? He even said it. I'm not the legend. I'm not that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's not Ahsoka.
And I like that about Luke. You know what I mean? I like the fact that he was plucked out of his environment, thrust into this war that he didn't really want to be in. Then, and then to come out that he was so important, and that pressure of being pretty much the chosen one at that time, the one that needs to bring Vader down and bring the Emperor down. That's a lot of pressure for somebody to carry on, and not knowing how to do that, and then failing with Kylo, going off to, on his Barash vow or to be lost and never found, but having the insight after Yoda told him to come back to say, look, you're right. I have to learn from my failures and come to save the day in the Battle of Crate. Be one with the Force, be Rey's mentor.
You gotta take it, again, this is what I was trying to say in that episode. This would be a very condensed, different version than that episode, right? So say you're a kid right now, okay? You grew up with your aunt and uncle. All of a sudden, they pass away, okay? You meet this new weirdo that's taking you on. You need somebody in your life. But then all of a sudden you get drafted into the war. All of a sudden there's this big old war. During this war, you find out that, hey, the president of your country killed your dad.
Right.
Okay, Trump killed your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So then I'm mad, angry. I find out Trump is my dad. How am I going to beat you? Am I going to be okay? Am I going to be some ultimate warrior and go out and destroy everybody on my shoulders and do all this? No, I'm going to go through some mental problems trying to deal with it.
But I'm going to do it being rich.
Well,
being rich.
Yeah.
But you're also going to have some real conflict on trying to train somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, he tried to train.
Kanan did with Ezra. They made that clear, right?
Yeah, 100%. Even Yoda.
All he wanted to do. All Luke wanted to do was go to Tashi's.
He
just wanted to go to Tashi's, but no, we had to have him go into the war.
Had Owen let him just go to Tashi Station, this would have all been over.
Done.
It's all Owen's fault.
I would love to know that Tashi Station was like some type of strip club. Yeah.
And power converters are something way different than we think it is.
I'm making Tashi Station,
like Spice.
strip club.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
my
we should put
God.
that as our money ideas right there.
Yeah.
Like Tashi Station is
We should-
our
I
strip.
think we need to make another group, but it's going to be a pay group. We're going to call it Tashi Station Strip Club.
Yeah.
And we're gonna,
Oh my God.
The big
we're
old
gonna put in
neon
twilling
sign.
dudes all day.
Well,
Yes.
That's our fans only account.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah. That's that. And,
Tashi's.
we'll write the fan fiction of the What If series. You know,
Nice.
what if the droids were captured day one? What would happen? What would the world be like? You know, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We can theory craft that too. By the way.
I think we have over the years.
Yeah, we probably have. You know. Wow.
Man.
Unreal.
So let's see.
How'd you get at a loss right now? We had a good interview. Now everybody's at a loss for
I know,
words.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we
Come
went,
on, guys, let's go.
we went from that to the rumors to Boba Fett to Luke Skywalker to Nick. You know, to
Episode 4 of Hot Topic.
episode 4 Hot Topic.
So-
You know, trying to justify Luke.
For those of those listening for the first time, because we have had a lot that's joined the Facebook group
Mhm.
through other friends and everything.
Mm.
So for those of you who don't know, Hot Topic Podcast is our spin-off section that Chris does
Absolutely.
on his own, because we love Chris's theory crafting and everything that you guys, you know, we got them on our services on everywhere that we're a part of. You can find those old episodes, and then soon, hopefully more will be coming,
Because
but
there's only
that's
old episodes.
because that's what we're getting into and talking about for those of you who are wondering what's going on.
Right.
You know,
Good.
Thank you everyone who has joined us and started anew with us or anything like that. But it is time for you to catch up. So you got to catch up with those and know that episode 4 was the greatest one that he's ever done.
Ernie
Yeah.
knows this for a fact because he's listened several times.
Yeah.
Right.
That's his,
Become a
that's
running
his real.
gag at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's,
They can't not.
I
it's
can
like-
recite it
right?
just like Goonies. I can recite it word for word. So
it starts with check this out, and then it just goes from there.
there is a part where it kind of breaks, and I swear I could hear a the whole time, but then it gets really good after that.
It gets really good after that. It goes so deep.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
Oh.
and there it is.
Oh, and there
Yep,
it is.
there it is. That's Hot
And we just went to
Topic.
PG-13. So,
That's
so
legit there.
so Danny Trejo.
Yep.
He's
Trejo.
yes,
Trejo.
thank you. He's rumored to be in the Mandalorian. What do you think he could play?
Oh my god, dude! I want him as like one of the ultimate bounties, or
Of course.
even his own guild by himself. Like there
A
is
guild
no
of
other.
one.
Yeah,
I kind
Oh,
of
he's
like-
gonna- He's gonna be that opening scene where they catch him and freeze him in carbonite. Like,
yeah.
like,
You know what?
last time.
I wouldn't even mind that. But he's gonna be this homely farmer that he's gonna come across and help the Mandalorian.
Oh.
He's gonna have him. Mandalorian's gonna have a rip in his shirt. And he's gonna help him sew it back up. It's a totally off the wall, opposite character that he always plays.
He has a character though. I mean, you know, you would think that he'd be this not a biker necessarily.
Yeah, well,
but
yeah,
just
like-
something super.
They got to
badass.
bring in the swoop gangs,
It would
man.
be cool if he
We
rolled up
haven't
on a
seen
swoop
swoop
bike.
bikes.
Yeah, like I said, to bring in the swoop gangs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this one thing. Okay, so we got the guild, we got bounty hunters, but we haven't got the gangs yet. If this is lawless
swoop
time,
gang?
yeah,
Right.
man. I would love to them to
Jeez.
introduce that. And like I've heard things. You know, we've heard things from people saying like, you know,
We've heard some things.
Season 2 is going to be outstanding from people who have worked on it and other actors and stuff. And I'm like, how do you top what we've got in season 1? I'm like, yeah, man, it does like really bring in some destruction and lawlessness. Like one thing that caught me, I was watching Mandalorian 2, and when Grief Karga told the Mandalorian, hey, if you're upset with, you know, the client, then take it up with the New Republic. And he goes, you're joking, right? I want to kind of explore that a little bit at this fragile time in this history of Star Wars. That's a joke. Like, that's a fragile existence at this point. They're not. But then again, the X-Wings come in, save the day later on, and they're kind of feared. But that was kind of intriguing for me that even like Grief Karga and the Mandalorian thought that was a, you know, I'm not taking this to the New Republic. They're not even a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
awesome.
yeah, like when he first wanted to get paid in credits,
Right.
He said that.
They still
No,
Yeah, Imperial credits still spend. But I thought that was cool to explore a little bit more. Maybe hopefully going in the future, like, some more of that politicalness, I guess. I know that's not a show about that, but getting little tidbits here and there is exciting for me. About
I would think being that they're all close, and Star Wars has always been partially political because that's the bad guy, right? The bad guy's been the
right
in charge the whole time,
right?
So it makes sense to have a little bit in there, and it's always kind of the middle of everything in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Who's in charge? What's going on?
We need
our
the
people.
We need the
Because then you
political
throw it into
atmosphere.
that kind of scale too. You're running a galaxy.
Yeah.
You're not running a state or a country or a world.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? But before we go on, we have so many of our people in the chat going off about the Danny Trujillo thing with their own thing of what he could be. You know what I just thought of? I like all these ideas so much that what if he just started showing up in every episode as a different person? Like continually, everything that everybody is saying.
He was
like,
a clone. Maybe
too.
it's a clone that was that was.
Yeah, or just say that he's done up.
Should we call an ambulance for Joey? It looks like he's kind of passed out.
Oh no, he's frozen on our screen. That's great.
Oh no.
That'll be our thumbnail.
Screenshot it.
But yeah, dude, like a recurring role of Danny Tree, that'd be funny, dude. That would be, and playing different characters.
Yeah, that you can make them up as different every time. I would love that too.
Yeah.
Because I totally, dude, my bad. Take away my Star Wars card, but Thick Nick had said it. How he was the spiritual advisor in Fanboys.
Right.
I totally forgot that. Yeah.
This is some killer guac, man.
Yeah. So if we could have him show up in every just episode as somebody different.
Yeah.
Are we losing everybody? Because now Mike's frozen too. Wow.
No,
I see Mike.
He's good.
Mike's just
he
super
was
still.
online. Oh, he just came back right now.
I really do like speculating though too. You take a character and you go, okay, what are they kind of like cast type in and put them in the series and stuff, and then have it completely opposite of what we thought.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
He's cast as just a voice of like an older Yoda child.
What if he's gonna be our Jedi wielding a lightsaber?
Yeah.
Or like they did, what's his name?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm brain farting the character, but the older gentleman.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
This is no from the Mandalorian.
The client.
The client.
Yeah.
He's dead.
No.
Oh.
I have spoken.
Oh, Quill.
He's dead.
He's dead too.
Right.
He's dead too.
No, what I'm saying is that's how they do Danny.
Oh, like that type of mentor. Yeah, I would. Hey, the guy's awesome. So I mean,
Yeah, I would be able to tell his voice.
Oh yeah.
Just like Nick Nolte's.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
exactly. I'm with it, man. Like everybody that's rumored to be in this series, I'm down with. That's not one. Okay, like we know we've
But
made
I do
jokes
wish
before.
they would stop.
Yeah, I do too.
I kind of wish they'd stop talking about it because I'd like some surprises.
Absolutely.
But,
You're 100%
like
right.
Chris, But like Chris said, they could just be in an episode for 5 minutes and that's it.
They get the major buzz right now. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I kind of like don't want to know who's in it. I just want to watch it.
Yeah. But they gave Bill Burr he was in the whole episode.
He had a great part. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
and he didn't swear once.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Way out of character.
Hey, let's get a little bit to the Ahsoka rumor.
Sure.
Right. So if there are all these cameos in there, and a lot of it's probably going to point to the Ahsoka spinoff, I would think, if it's all true.
Yeah.
Okay. This is assuming all these rumors are true. We're just going to put that out there again. We don't, nothing's confirmed.
Yeah.
But if we get the Ahsoka, do you figure that's her and Sabine and Rex working together with these people? Because Sabine's rumored in there too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You figure this is probably what that show's going to be about, going to find Ezra? Is that what we're thinking? Because the rumor hasn't even been clear if it's animated or if it's live action. But I would think it'd be live action if we've cast Rosario Dawson already and all these characters live action.
It's even harder to go off of how many people have been rumored in here. There's so many. So if we take our three, you're right. So that's Rex, Sabine, and Ahsoka. The rumor is this sets up for the Ahsoka live action show.
Sure.
Yeah,
where it's going to be another spin-off of a Rebels of them looking for Ezra and Thrawn.
That works for me. Yeah.
That's another thing is Chris will finally get his Thrawn in live action.
Yeah. here's the thing too, and I mentioned this in our chat, our group thing, our Facebook group. I'm at this point now where I want Thrawn to be CG. Do you agree or no? Or do you really have to have him as a character? And here's the reason why.
Do you mean CG
full
in a
CG
live
character.
action show?
Yeah,
full CG.
Wow.
Well, full CGI character. Okay.
Like Jar Jar, that shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Chris said, you could have a live action just replace the face, because I don't want to see a face of an actor I know play Thrawn, because that's all I'll see. Thrawn is like, to me, I've always said this before, Thrawn has a specific look, and I think it's very important. It's very important to get the Chiss look right. And all I'll see, if Tom Cruise is playing him, that's all I'll see is Tom Cruise.
Well, yeah, that's a well-known character. If you took an unknown actor and who's still really good, or that you wouldn't just be able to pick up just by looking at him.
Yeah, because then I can relate that to him as Thrawn, absolutely. But I don't know. I think like I said, Cad Bane, if they do, I think he should be a CG character. I think Thrawn should be a CG character.
Well, Cad Bane has
do that with a Duros. Because there was a live action Duros
to make him to like fully articulate and vocalize and action pattern, not just in the background. I think.
Yeah, well, some here, like the mouth will be CGI.
Yeah,
deal here.
Something like that. I don't know.
I think for Thrawn, I think for the most part, I agree with you as far as the head. I don't want the body CG. I think it would take away. They don't,
Yeah.
I think having an actor there,
it's a pet peeve. It's just a pet peeve of mine. That's all. It's just something that I have in my head.
I completely disagree. I want to see. I want to see a live action guy in the makeup. They've done such a good job of taking actors and putting them in prosthetics and putting them in makeup to where you can't really recognize them. And Thrawn has kind of like a weird crest on his forehead that they could add an appliance to make it look that way.
I just think
if they wanted to
that looks
CGI
weird.
his eyes.
Yeah, well, they have to. They have to make it solid red. I don't care, but that's just a pet peeve. But sometimes when
she wants to see Michael Fassbender, it's Thrawn.
Michael Fassbender is Thrawn. I don't know. Like I said, sometimes like even as Rosario Dawson, like even putting her in the full makeup is going to be something that I think they have to nail. They have to nail it.
Well, it's not going to be her in the makeup. It's going to be her voice. That's going to throw me off with her.
Oh, you think so?
That's why I threw out the whole theory crafting as far as Rosario Dawson playing her, and then we get Ashley Eckstein as the voice.
Yeah, but that voice won't match Rosario Dawson's face. That's the thing. That's a really tricky get up. How works if you only got a line or two? You know what I mean? Like Darth episode 1, it worked when they overlaid his voice, or Vader with a mask. I don't know if it would work with Ahsoka if she's like in more than like say.
That'd be weird.
Two lines.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the book then, and how the voice character or the voice how they did that with that?
I think
the voice in the book matches up really well with Rebels. You listen to the voice in the books and the old ones do not match up at all with what we know now, right? They changed to match this Rebels one.
See, I'm thinking.
I wonder if they ever deal
that kind of slow demeanor.
Yeah. Well,
I wonder if they deal with that when it comes to characters. I'm sorry, Mark. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. What I was saying was, I wonder if they deal with that when it comes to releasing a character into live action, because now they have to really dial in a lot of specifics that we're so used to as far as the character is concerned, how the character looks, how the character reacts, big eyes on her or not big eyes. You know what I mean? There's certain things about the character. I mean, it's like, to translate that to live action, I think it's a lot difficult. It would be pretty difficult for them to do that, and for it not to look wonky or off, or hey, that voice is just not playing right for me. You know what I'm saying? So
sure,
I'll tell you what, Lars Mikkelsen, right, who's Mads Mikkelsen's brother, is the one that voiced him. Okay, and this remember when I started theory crafting Rogue One because of all the yada. He looks, when you look him up, he has enough of a resemblance where he could play his physically, and he'd be the voice.
Mm.
I mean,
and we wouldn't recognize him if we saw him.
What's that?
And we wouldn't recognize him if we saw him.
Right.
Not so much. No, I mean, I know you can't see it on the screen, right?
How about his height?
It's not going to work there.
I'm looking him up right now.
Bright light.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right?
That. Yeah.
Easy. I mean, he's easy. He's easy pickings.
Yeah.
His height looks pretty good. I mean, I don't know if they really gave a specific, but they gave it like in the book, I mean, they really nailed this guy's stature and.
I mean, Gandalf isn't that much bigger in real life than the
than the Hobbit.
So it's a more of a forced angle.
I think that
Okay.
the transition between a CG or like a cartoon character to a live action character and changing the actress and the voice is a lot easier to sell and a lot easier for us to accept rather than replacing an actor completely, from movie to movie. Even if you're trying to come as close as No. So for example, if Carrie Fisher played in A New Hope and you got a different person to play Leia in Empire Strikes Back, that would be like no.
No, not that. I'm talking about when you go live action to
MCU
cartoon.
was ruined in that change.
Talking about cartoon to live action though, we're getting Bo-Katan and the lady who plays her voice. So what about that?
The lady who plays her voice.
We're getting the lady that plays her voice, right? Did they confirm it was Bo-Katan yet? Well, nothing's confirmed at all, right?
Right.
Nothing's confirmed. But that's what we have is supposedly that's the next one who's supposed to show up.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, man.
My hoping anyway was that she was the armorer from day one anyway.
Yeah.
So now that we get her in here, I'm kind of hoping that holds true.
I just don't see the armor wearing one of those helmets with the horns on it, reminiscent of Darth Maul's era. I don't think Bo-Katan would put that on.
It's a reminder trophy or for surviving it or just a reminder of what happened.
But does that translate as far as people remembering this character and Bo-Katan in there and then going, okay, well, this is now the live action of her. Like, does that confuse people? Is that I'm talking about for the Star Wars fans that you guys are, and then the common Star Wars fans, like when they go,
I don't think that would matter in this movie, in this show. I think in this point, people will look and research what things are.
Yeah,
and it's all on Disney Plus for them to research. So I think they're going to push envelopes here a little bit.
Yeah,
with because we're assuming casual fans might not watch animation. They might not watch the Clone Wars. They're going to wonder who Ahsoka and Rebels, Ahsoka, Sabine, Rex, who they are. They're nowhere in the movies. Very true. Even though Rex is a clone, he's obviously nowhere. Right, so you got all this stuff. So they're going to confuse casuals anyway with some stuff, and just hope to make it cool enough to where they don't care. It's a cool alien, it's a cool character, whatever. Right. Yeah. It's us that go deeper and care about all the other things.
There's ways of doing it. There's ways of doing it. And even to kind of explain on live action of a little bit of the past without delving into like Chris said, the Clone Wars or Rebels. But if they just throw in somebody like Cad Bane, and he starts he starts talking about all of these past things he's done, and everybody's probably like, whoa, wait a second, I missed this. That's where you come into trouble. But
if he comes in and just does his thing, no big deal.
Exactly, like another bounty hunter, another alien. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like, okay, remember when I'm going to throw it back to Marvel again. When they started teasing the Avengers and you saw Thanos the first time. Right. How many people in the theater said, "Who's that?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. They all wanted to know who it was. And to be honest with you, most of them thought it was Darkseid, and they don't know Marvel from DC.
So right? True.
And it's just, whatever.
No, you're right, 100%. But then they explained it in the movies, and it became like, I know who Thanos is. Exactly.
Yeah. So there we go. That was the train of thought right there. I lost it. But
no, it's good.
The casuals don't matter. Don't fall. Don't figure it out. Don't research it.
Hey, man.
Listen to the Tower Digest. We'll tell them about it.
Well, and we have 5 seasons to digest who these people are, man. It's not going to be a one-time thing.
Yeah.
And if it any appearance of Ahsoka or Sabine or anything like that is just going to be a good prep for the new show that's coming out and lead and, like you said, just guide them to those old episodes.
I love.
And really, think about it. As far as any other character, what's it matter if it was them to a casual or Kara?
Right.
Yeah.
There's the difference between Kara or this other Sabine versus any other Mandalorian.
Right. I've even heard rumor of a Cara Dune series possibly. So I mean, there are all these rumors out there.
Everybody went off the rails this week, dude. So I think there's a bunch of true stuff in there.
Yeah. Well, if you throw it all to a wall, something's gonna stick. I mean,
Well, what about Ray Park and yesterday night posting up all his Darth Maul pictures again, even talking? What would you feel about a Solo spinoff?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I've always said
Wasn't that rumored?
Well, I've always said this. You cannot leave Solo the way it did. You can't leave it. You can't end it live action to the masses that they did and just ignore it. So a Solo spinoff makes absolute sense to me, more sense.
And if we go off our Ray Park theories on everything that he's done, and what's happened, it seems like it's going down.
He's gearing up. He's like Chris said, he only gears up when it's relevant.
All over Instagram going berserk, doing flips, talking about Sith life.
Yeah.
Right? Clone Wars. All of a sudden, he's showing pictures of him in a shaved head. Oh, he's not live action.
Did you see him last night? He continued on the one in the paint.
Yeah.
He's in
Yeah.
Sith for life. Yeah.
He had the
He's
teeth in.
full-on
He had the
Horde.
eyes in.
Yeah.
Oh,
So usually when he mauls up and goes Sith for life, he's something's in the works.
Yeah.
And
like I said,
he doesn't want more Darth Maul and underworld, right?
Yeah.
That's gimme.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the next one
I
is
want
going to
that
be
follow-up.
Yeah, it's going to be Crimson Dawn. I mean, that's what I think that's what the series should be, a Crimson Dawn, but then you have Kira and then a solo mention here and there, but yeah.
With that said, we just talked about going over voices, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way that he's the body and Whitwer wouldn't be the voice.
Nope.
Right.
I had it. Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
is this solo spinoff more likely to be animated?
No.
You think no?
Yeah,
really?
he does mocap fighting.
Well, you know what? You're right. That's a great point. And okay, I could see a Crimson Dawn cartoon spinoff. That would be cool. But if we get a solo live action, he would have to show up in there in that sense.
So we call it a solo live action, but it's not really. So it's Crimson Dawn, right? We wouldn't really have Han in it. We wouldn't have to deal with Han.
Right. We don't
That's
have
what
to.
I'm saying.
We
Crimson
have to.
Dawn animated.
Right.
So we're not going to have Kira because there's no way Emilia Clarke's going to come in. Well, I guess she would. She was in a TV show. That's what she is.
Yeah. Yeah. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't she? I mean, I saw her last movie, and trust me, she needs to go back to Star Wars.
I would not.
If they can put everybody back in there, then yeah, do it.
Yeah. See the
Yeah.
benefits.
It would have to be. It would have to be Emily Clarke.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
come
yeah.
back. If
The
it-
be-
If you took Emilia Clarke out and put somebody else in, like you said, then we turn into the MCU, and it doesn't make sense because of Rhodey.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right, exactly. But that's the benefits of doing a animated show spin. Even if Solo becomes an animated spin-off to Crimson Dawn, whatever, then you can add anybody you want because these guys signed off their likenesses forever. Like Dominic Pace, his likeness. Well, he's a character, so he has got no choice. But if he was showed his face, into the Mandalorian, then he basically signed off that for the rest of life. They can make him a cartoon, action figure, whatever it is. So there's benefits of the animation. Yes, we love the live action because they're doing such a good job so far with it with the Mandalorian. It's just amazing. So either or, I'm good with. I love the animation because you get more stylized and more flashy with it. But again, that grit of Star Wars, you get it live action. It's all good. It's all good. So okay, I think we can wind down. Let's take the last gander at the. I said gander. Unbelievable.
You did.
I did. At the chat,
Because we're
Scott.
PG-13 now, Marco.
Let's take.
Yeah, I didn't know we have to expand our vocabulary.
Yeah, I might be like, hey, let's take an F and look at the chat.
Yeah, for real.
Let's see.
At least you didn't say it.
Any
When
final
I-
comments or questions from the chat room, Scott?
We have
No.
to order a thesaurus on Amazon now.
No, it's just everybody chiming in that they like the idea of Bo-Katan being in the show. They
Cool.
like
Cool.
a lot of people agreeing that people like Richard Fassbender.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is it? I think it's Michael
Michael.
Fassbender, isn't
Michael.
it? Yeah.
Michael.
But
He
for
knows
some
what you
reason, Nick called him Richard. I don't know.
Wow.
Uh,
He's confused with Luke, so
I guess. Yeah. But yeah, it's just that's about it.
Cool. Well,
All right.
unless anybody else has any final remarks, I'm sure we'll stay our chest close to the latest news for the next 2 weeks. Our YouTube, this is going to be on YouTube now, but we are going to heat that up too. Our channel is going to be heating up with some content. I've got a plan to make it a little more exciting without a 2-week break in between episodes. We'll have some extra little content here and there, which is going to be kind of cool. Please join our group chat in the Facebook and our Facebook and Instagram, all that stuff to keep up with everything that we're doing, all the content. We're actually running a contest right now. It's on our IG and our Facebook that we picked a scene from Empire Strikes Back, since this is the 40th anniversary of Empire, that I want you to do toy photography. Now, any toys. I don't care if it's Legos, if it's Play-Doh, whatever you can. Be creative. I'm looking at the most creative, right? Like the most fun and creative post that we can. Mm-hmm. Take a picture of the carbon chamber freezing chamber scene. It could be the I love you, I know. It could be not disintegrations. It could be he's Boba Fett and Darth Vader. It could be who knows, whatever. As long as it's that scene. Take a picture of your toy photography, and we'll pick a winner at the first of every month. And that photo will be our banner for that group for a whole month. For 30 days, you'll be featured on your artwork on as their banner. And we'll just kind of progress that every month as it goes. I think it's fun. It's creative. It gets people to do something at home, right? It gets something to do something with their collection as they're staring at it, to bring it out, be creative with it. We have a thread in there that's already has some submissions, so check those out and see where your competition's at. And we'll just pick a fun winner, man. I think it's good.
100%.
With that, I think that we can do our outros now, right? You guys good?
Yep.
You guys good to get out of here?
I'm still.
I know, right?
I'm
I'm emotionally spent, man. It was such a fun episode to do.
Great
I love getting insights like that. I think Dominic Pace was an excellent guest. I'm hoping that we can have him on longer next time to really geek out with us and do like a whole, Star Wars talk and just kind of go over and beyond what he's already given us. So with that,
all right.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Make sure to like and subscribe all our stuff that we do. Chris, hot topic, maybe sometime this year. That'd be great, man. That'd be awesome. But no, where else can we find you, dude?
No, that was it. I'm good.
I know that you do have a review coming.
Trolls on Facebook and here. That's it.
Nice. Bootleg Joe.
You can find me here at the Sarlacc Digest, and you can find me on IG at bootlegjoe_760.
Nice. Killing it with the toy photography, by the way. Keep that up.
Thank you.
More T-Rex eating Baby Yoda. I need this.
And feel better, man.
Yeah, and get better, will you?
You saw that as eating him?
Yeah,
I thought he was taking him around. I thought they were friends.
No. T-Rex.
Oh, you got that all screwed up.
I do. Yeah, get better, Joe, man. I'm tired of seeing you sick, man.
I'm trying, man.
It's not cool.
This thing just keeps lingering around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Scott Solo.
Hey,
what are you in the
nerd?
What are you in the nerd? I'm gonna say nerd because it's Kevin, not the nerd.
Yeah, it's Kevin.
You and the nerd. What are you and the nerd up to?
You know what? We just recorded an episode all about Oingo Boingo.
Oh,
one of our favorite bands from the 80s. So
finally,
it's an evolution of Oingo Boingo from one song from each album.
Nice,
from beginning to end, and a lot of just Oingo Boingo facts and
cool.
Fun stories.
I'm with it, man.
That should be coming out this week, actually. So stay tuned for that. And hey, Chris, real quick, did you hear that Ruby Rose quit as Batwoman?
I did hear that. That was out of control, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't watching it, but who quits a show when you're an iconic character?
Right, I know. It caught me off guard yesterday, and I don't watch the show either. I tried, and I lost interest like in episode 3. So they put her in a bat cowl, and they stuffed all of her hair up in there, so the bat cowl looked like one of those hats from Spaceballs, one of the big round cue ball type hats. It looked awful. So
really a Spaceball, you know that.
So maybe that's why she quit. Then she was just tired of the nonsense, and they weren't listening.
Maybe they're going a direction that was just going to make her look stupid.
Actually, there was a part of it was she was injured on set and had to have emergency surgery on her spine, apparently. Wow. But she fully recovered, so I don't know what happened.
Huh.
Yeah.
Drama.
So, hey, that's it. I just wanted to, since this is usually where we insert other stuff. That was it.
Okay, let's do that real quick. Hold on. Since they came out today, and you're talking see that Harley Quinn cartoon.
It is so good.
Oh my God, was that Nick that brought that up today?
It was, yeah.
Oh my God.
I have to get caught up on that.
Julie and I, we binged the whole thing last week, and it just blew our mind. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I'll get it done over the weekend. I just put it on to watch a little bit, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is I watched that first episode. I'm in.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's fantastic. So tune in.
Nice. Right. I have to get caught up on that. Fanboy Mike.
Right here.
5? Are you gonna make 5?
You're gonna make. You'll see me on the next step.
What?
Liar.
I will be.
Wow, this is awesome.
He's here until he has to travel again.
Yeah.
I know.
Just the mileage. He's worried about it.
Exactly.
It's a lease.
Next time you're in the tractor, you got to have your phone set up so we can do the live thing while you're hauling rocks or whatever the hell you do.
Whatever you haul.
Loading rocks, the whole 9, right?
Nice,
yeah.
nice. Well, cool,
I love being on the show, guys.
Cool, absolutely. Ernie, the Fallen Fed, where can we find you?
Here every other Wednesday night, 8 p.m., guys. Be sure and share with your friends. Remember to hit that bell for notifications. Hit the bell, hit all and you'll get our notifications up of when we go live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. You can find me with the Toy Migos on They're Not Dolls every day, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on our YouTube channel, as we just kind of give you a daily show, a step away from everything that's going on in the world with nothing but toy news and toy talk.
You guys cost
really
me money.
Great episodes.
It cost me money. I told Josh. I told Cheney, I said, you know what, you guys need to stop. I love what you're doing, but you're costing me money, like on a daily basis, because sometimes I just can't pass it. I can't pass it up.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm all into the new Joes and everything.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, my God. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
Oh, you're started,
That's
dude.
my favorite.
Oh, I know I'm started.
And then Thursday night is our regular episode at 9 p.m.
Cool. Well, yeah.
All right.
You can follow me on everything Sarlacc, what I just mentioned to on our Facebook group, our IG, here, YouTube, everything. Make sure, again, like what Ernie said, hit that notification button, hit the subscribe. Let's grow our families. Tell everybody, tell a friend to get involved into this awesome world of Star Wars that we did. So, again, special thank you to Dominic Pace, the Gekko, for joining us for his short time here. You can follow him. He has a website called GekkoTheBountyHunter.com, which I will put it in the link below. Make sure you go and support everything the guy's doing. He's really trying to just keep the Star Wars community together during these times. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got the right attitude when it comes to that. I think he knows he's one of us. He's, obviously grew up with Star Wars, so he's one of us that knows and gets it. And hopefully that he has more Star Wars in his future too, because the Gekko's not dead. We could see him in, and I know he's not allowed to say that what he's in. So maybe we'll see him in a recurring role. So we'll see, and keep our fingers crossed for that Black Series. With that, thank you again, chat, and let's get out of here, guys.
Right on.
All right. Keep it nerdy, everybody.